Can't nothing slide.
This nigga straight from the gutter. Straight from the gutter right here.
Straight
You?
from the gutter.
Never had shit.
So we back with another fucking episode of We Still Don't Know Yet.
Yeah.
The unofficial 4th episode. We were supposed to bring out something else today, but we gonna see how that go. What's it called? Well, we was just cool and rolling up and shit, you know, with the CBD.
CBD dope.
Y'all niggas was having a good conversation about time. That shit was interesting.
Oh yeah. So it started out because a motherfucker. So I went to the damn isolation tank today, man, and I was telling these motherfuckers about like what I was feeling and shit, or what I noticed being in there, man. One of the things that it was I lost like total sense of time at one point, to the point where I was just in there floating in the dark, right? But like I was breathing in real slow, and then it got to a point where I was like, damn, like I lost every sense of time, bro. I really was just like, damn, I wonder how long it's been. Like, is time going like slow right now? Like, damn. But like I lost whole sense of that shit, right? Then I guess one thing that I noticed that there was but you made it clear when you said it though. This motherfucker said we paid too much attention to time, and I think that's one thing that the isolation tank definitely can benefit with, like definitely emptying out all your worries about things that really ain't.
It might or might not happen.
Yeah,
right.
type shit. You know what I'm saying? What you meant by that, bro? By we paid too much attention to time.
Oh yeah, so like I was telling Onique, I said every day we're like forced to pay attention to time, right? Like we're looking at it. We have a certain time to do this. We gotta go to work at this time. We gotta do this, you know, everyday shit. But like once you literally, it's so easy to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever like, I'm saying like he said, it only took him some time to realize like time ain't really real. You know what I'm saying? Like
it took me some time emptying out my mind.
But I'm saying like it didn't take you like days. That you've learned that takes you years to get.
It literally just took me some concentration on thinking about nothing.
Facts. But you see, like that didn't take you that long, and it doesn't take long whenever it happens. You know what I'm saying? When you stop thinking about time, it doesn't take long. You know, because like even habits and shit take years. You know what I'm saying, to get out of. But time, I realized like it shit going quick. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I feel like because we're forced to look at it all the time, you know, it's like, it's kind of like, you know, we're always looking at human shit, I guess.
Human shit. No cap.
Like the shit that we made. You know what I'm saying? To
man-made.
Yeah, but when you get out.
Yo, episode, side note to drink chlorophyll.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Chlorophyll. Nah, but like
fruit smoothies.
I don't know, bro. To me, I'm like, it's so easy to forget. It's like maybe we ain't like, that's how you know it's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to forget that. Like once you get out of time and shit, or you go to certain places, do certain things like that. Yeah, it's like time. You realize like, oh, it's nothing. Like I might have been here an hour, but it's not really. It's just how long I've been in a period of time. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Do you think time is practical? Like in the way humans use it to, like, you know, meet me here at 12, or you know, this starts at 12, this ends at this time. Do you think that's practical?
I think, I mean, for that, yeah. So, you know, like what time I need you there and shit, you know, but maybe not practical when it comes to, you think like you gotta have everything figured out at a certain age, 18, you know, like that type of time. I'm like, I think that's unpractical because like we really don't know how long it takes to get something. Like just because I got it in a year doesn't mean everybody's gonna get it that year, you know. But yeah. So I feel like that part is unpractical. Like, but because of that, I think that's why people give up so quick too. Like, cause you're like, oh, I didn't make it in this type of time. You know, like you thought, but it's like the process don't work like that. Process just works how the process works.
We live in a society that loves to rush us.
Yeah.
Most of society falls into that and feels rushed. It feels that pressure, which adds extra stress into your life. Extra worries that you don't even really gotta worry about. Fact. So I could definitely see what
don't get me wrong though. It's important to pay attention to the clock, but you shouldn't let the clock control you.
Yeah. I mean, you could use the clock to your advantage.
Straight up.
Like, as long as you know that you're steady working to those goals that you're looking forward to, then time is something that you definitely don't want to worry too much about, because you know that you're steady working on it. But if you're not doing shit and then you noticing time still going by, but you're noticing time, then yeah, that's when you're like, oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I think I'm not doing shit right now.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly though, but you got a point there. Like, you can't rush your process. Like, because if you rush the process, then you know, like, that's how you gonna feel like I ain't do nothing. Cause it's not how it works. Like, your experience and your brain needs to figure that out. And that, you don't need to think about time in that time. Like, it might take you a year, it might take you two, but the goal is to get to it. You know, like, it's not, I gotta get through it at a certain time. I gotta do it at this. I gotta do it, you know, I gotta be rushed. Like, hell no. Just do it at
your own time.
Yeah, at your own time.
Yeah, because I be noticing that's like a reoccurring story in our generation. Well, not even in our generation. I see it a lot more in I do see it in our generation, but I see it a lot more in like the generation right above us, I guess, that are like, you know, maybe 6, 7 to 10 years older than us, and I see like they're 29 to like 33, 34, and they're like, they already feel like they failed on some shit. They already feel like, oh, like I already ran out of time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I haven't done this. I haven't done that yet. And it's like, nigga, you still got time, bro.
Okay.
For sure. As long as you're still breathing, you got time.
And you have, if you think so much about time, you haven't really learned the lesson of the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will never reach an end goal. You know, like,
yeah, first.
Like, you first go in thinking that you're gonna get an end goal, but you realize, like, while you start doing things, any process, you know what I'm saying? Any process, you realize, like, it's a life choice. You know, like, this is something I gotta do every day. You know, like, let's say
discipline.
You want to make money. You realize you really ain't never can stop working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make it to the point that you're like, all right, I have so much bread now that nothing would affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, that would be like close to impossible. It's only like a few people that have it at this moment, you know? And it's like, but everything is the process. Like, you gotta fall in love with that. That's the real lesson. You know, like, every day I'm gonna get a chance to be better. You know, like, every day I get to like push to another level. It's not really like, oh, I'm the best now, because you might get to where you thought was the best, and then you're like, I could keep going.
That's
like
that's definitely what happens.
Right?
You reach a goal, and then, like, if you're too focused on the end goal, once you get there, you're not thinking about the fact that once you get there, all you're gonna want to do is get another one, and you know, so you're just rushing it, and not really enjoying the process of you doing what you got to do to get to that point. And you're gonna get those results maybe sometimes if you do certain things to rush it, but it's not gonna feel as good as you actually putting in the work, building from the ground up, and actually dedicating yourself to that shit. Struggling, going through the storms of that shit, man, and still rising up and actually getting to that point. That shit was gonna really make you feel good on the inside.
That's real strength, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But that's literally like, if you want to be anything or do anything, like, you know, that's really what it is. Like, if you want to be a tough dude, real dude, whatever you want to call it, if you want to be just like a stand-up person, you got to be able to survive the storm. Like, that's what you training for. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why every day you evolve in this, because you know it's real life that you're not going to have control over everything. But it's like, but I do have control about how I react to the outcome, you know?
Yes, sir.
And it's, you have to, like, to become that person, I think, like, you have to understand that. And, like, every day you train for that. And then that's how you really test yourself, you know? Like, all right, it's raining right now. Like, am I gonna stay in the rain? Am I gonna let that shit beat me? Or am I gonna, like, wait till it comes out, learn about it, and, like, get out of it myself?
Okay. One thing I have noticed about time is, like, I feel like, it's dumb to see it in, like, the human way, the society way. Like, we have 24 hours, we have 8-hour shifts, you know, we sleep during the day, we go to sleep during the night. Like, I think that's a very dumb way of looking at it. But at the same time, I do feel like actual time, like time itself, is the most valuable currency that we could ever have, because like regardless of what you're doing, you're spending it. Like we're sitting right here right now, we're spending time. Who's ever watching this, like you're spending time. If it doesn't matter if you're sitting on your ass or working, you're spending time. And we don't know how much of this currency we have, and we can't do anything to buy more. We can't do anything to acquire more. You feel me? And we have no idea of how much we have. So I feel like it's really important to see the seriousness of time in that aspect, but at the same time, like, you gotta understand, your human body. Like, you're not supposed to be pushed to how society wants you to be pushed. But don't take that as me saying like be lazy and sit on your ass. Nah, nigga. Because even again, I said this fucking last episode. Even if there was no rules or regulations or whatever, niggas would still have to fucking work their ass off to get what the fuck they want. You feel me?
Yeah. I think you gotta know, like, I think you gotta also know your value. Cause that's it, like you saying, like currency, that's your only like real currency everybody comes in with, like time. Like, and you gotta know your value. So if you think your value is sitting in the couch all day, listening to somebody every day, then that's what you give that's your worth. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that I could see you completely different. You know what I'm saying? But you see yourself as that. So that's your value. Yeah. And it's like, so that's what, like, I like what he was saying. Like, it's up to you what you give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, your currency, it's up to you what you give it time to. Like sitting here, spending some knowledge. I know, like, we growing too. Like, just sitting here listening to two different mindsets and on, like, things that I might have never thought about. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? To give my time to that. I don't think it's worth it to be giving it to drama. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because if not, I'm just going to become like y'all. Like, how they say in Spanish, chismosos. Like, fuck, like, I don't want to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I value myself, like, to not be that way. Like, no drama. Like, I'm trying to actually do something with my life,
I heard this dude, he put it in a good way that, he was like, look at time like this, like, he had asked like some college students, like how much you will value your time at, like, with the knowledge that they had at the moment and their talents at the moment, at the age they were and shit, And he was like, most of them were gonna go based off like minimum wage or the jobs they could get at the moment and what they would offer them, right? And he was like, no, like, what do you, like you say, what do you value your time at, right? He was like, so think about it like this, when you gonna go spend your time, how much do you think your hour of life is worth? Like, say for example, like, say you gonna say, shit, my shit is like, if you want to stay humble, say your shit is like $50 an hour, right? Right? Say $50 an hour. On the hours that you're not at work, those are gonna be the hours that you are gonna be choosing. That the choices you make are gonna be really important for, because say 5 years from now, you get maybe 3 hours after work that you can work on shit before you gotta go to sleep or something, maybe 4, right? Say 4. And that's 5 days out the week, right? Mm-hmm. So that's 20 hours in a week, right?
Yeah. Damn.
And say you said your hours worth $50, right? What's 50 times 20 is like a rack, no? Mm-hmm. A rack, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a rack. So say you got 52 weeks in a year, right? 52 racks.
That was
52,000, right? Yeah. That's 52,000, right? Say 4 years. You can do something in 4 years, all right? So 4 years, 52,000 times 4.
It's like 216,000.
All right, that's if you choose to spend your time wisely on the things that you know that if you work on and gain skill and value in that certain field, that's what your time is gonna be worth in those fields. In that amount of time, saying 4 years. But if you think about it like that, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like you just spent $250,000 worth of time.
That's damn.
I don't know what's causing mad frequency on these motherfuckers right now.
Yeah. Oh, nah, yeah, she's trying to.
There we go.
Yeah,
but
cables can't touch each other.
Interesting.
I found that real interesting the way he put that. Made me really look at it's really on us how we value our time and shit.
Yeah, and
What value we put to our time.
and if you work all the time on a job you don't like to do just to get paid, you spent less than what you were worth with more hours of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause imagine you didn't make the 256,000. Yeah, that's just $50 an hour, and a lot of people are worth
Yeah,
like
I'm saying, nigga.
15, 750, 11, and you ain't gonna make the 250,000 in 4
My
years.
shit is a rack hour.
Regardless of what you choose to pursue, like you're gonna spend time.
Yeah,
There probably isn't like spending time is probably the number one thing every human does on this planet. Cause like
you can't stop.
you feel me? You can't like you have no choice but to spend time. The only way you start spending time is when your time is done.
That boy said you dead.